Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome back to yet another episode on Little Slot YouTube channel. So today in this video we are going to see about, yes, you can see in the screen, which is the performance baseline. So what is performance baseline and what are the key aspects of performance baselines and why are baselines important and how to establish a baseline. So these are the three topics which we are going to see today as part of this performance baseline video. So if you have not subscribed to our channel and if you are new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Please do drop your comments, your feedback. It's good or bad, whatever it is, and let me know how much you like this video. And let's now move on to the video. So first let's see what is performance baseline. So a performance baseline is a set of key metrics and parameters that represent the normal operating conditions of a system under typical load. So by establishing a baseline is a crucial step in performance testing and engineering. But why? Why do we need to establish a baseline? Because it provides a reference point against which we can compute future test results and identify deviations or performance anomalies. And that's the reason we definitely need to have the performance baseline or baselining of the performance. So now let's move on to the next topic or next point, which is the key aspects of performance baseline. So what are the key aspects? So the first thing is here you can see, which is the metric selection. So we have to identify and document the key performance metrics which are relevant to our application or system, and this can include the metrics such as the response times, the throughput, the error rates, and resource utilization. So this can add to your list of metrics because it depends on your application. It depends on your relevancy to your application or system. So they can increase or they can decrease or they can stay the same, but you have to identify and document the key performance metrics. And the second thing is the normal operating conditions. So we have to establish the baseline under normal operating conditions when the system is not experiencing unusual load or stress, and this represents the performance expectations during regular usage. And then when it comes to the stability testing, we have to ensure that the system is stable and has reached a steady state before capturing baseline metrics. So why do we need to ensure this? Because this involves running the system under typical conditions for a sufficient duration to allow for any initial startup activities to complete. And that's the reason we have to have the stability testing. And then finally the version control. So baseline should be versioned and documented alongside the specific version of the application or system under test, because any changes in software or hardware or configurations can impact the performance, and having a baseline for each version helps us in understanding the performance changes over time. So that's why I'm telling these are the very key aspects of performance baselining. So the first thing is metric selection, where we have to be very careful in selecting the metrics which has to be relevant to the application. And the second thing is the normal operating conditions, where we have to establish the baseline under normal operating conditions. And then the stability testing, where we have to ensure that the system is stable and has reached a steady state before capturing the baseline metrics. And finally the version control, where actually the baseline should be versioned and documented alongside the specific version of the application or system under test, and any changes in software or hardware or configurations will definitely impact the performance, and having a baseline for each version helps us in understanding the performance changes over time. So now let's move to the next slide, which is the main reason. So we are doing all these. So why do we need to do this? So why are baselines important? The first point is the performance monitoring. So baseline serves as a reference point for ongoing performance monitoring, and any deviations from the baseline can indicate potential performance issues or changes in the system that need attention. And that's the main reason we are baselining the application. And the second point is the regression detection. So when any new releases or updates are introduced, comparing performance metrics against the baseline helps in detecting regressions or improvements in performance. And this part is very crucial for maintaining and improving overall system performance. And the third reason why baselines are important is capacity planning, where the baselines provide valuable data for capacity planning by offering insights into how the system behaves under typical conditions. And this capacity planning information actually is essential for predicting the resources which are needed as the user load increases. So using this we can do the capacity planning. And then finally the root cause analysis, where in the event of any performance issues, the baselines can be used as a reference to understand the normal behavior of the system, and this aids in identifying the root cause of performance degradation. So this is something like where we can use to prevent any performance issues rather than fighting with the performance issues. And then finally, so far we saw about the key aspects of performance baselines, and then we saw about the reasons like why are baselines important, and finally we are going to see how to establish the baseline. So the first point is define the metrics, so where we have to clearly define the performance metrics which are relevant to our system and application. And then the second point is the stress-free environment, where we have to capture the baseline metrics in a stress-free environment without any load or stress to ensure that the system is operating under typical conditions. And then the automated monitoring, where we have to implement automated monitoring tools to continuously capture and store baseline metrics. And finally the documentation, where we have to document the baseline parameters including the version of the application, its hardware specification, and any other relevant configuration details. So by establishing and maintaining the performance baselines, we, the performance engineers, can better understand the normal behavior of the system, detect performance changes, and proactively address potential issues before they impact users. So with that I come to an end. Until I meet you in another interesting video, it's bye bye from Vasan Shanmugam and Little's Law.